Good morning, my lecturer. Good morning, my friends. Thank you for the time and the opportunity given to us. We are from first group and we are explaining about adjective. And before that, introduce ourselves. My name is Vincesia Febrianti Maruau as moderator and second presenter. And my friend.
My name is Sabta Kristopololi as the third presenter.
My name is Salvi Prihartati Harefa as the first presenter.
And my name is Nurmawati Harefa as the last presenter.
Alright guys, let's start and please attention. Thank you.
Thank you for the time given to me. My name is Salvin Triartati Harefa, the first presenter. Now, in this presentation, we will discuss 6 types of adjectives. And after we discuss about of types adjective, we will continue to discuss about order of adjectives and degree comparison. Let's get started. So, what we need to understand first is what the definition of adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe nouns. Adjectives can tell us information about a noun, such as the size and color. Size include big, tall, small, and so on. When color includes red, yellow, blue, and so on. Adjectives can also tell us someone's opinion about a noun or describe how someone is feeling. Opinion includes beautiful, expensive, delicious, and so on. When feeling includes happy, tired, hungry, and so on. For example, the first is big cookie. Big is adjectives. Cookie is a noun. The second is yellow flowers. Yellow is adjectives and flowers is a noun. The first types of adjectives, proper adjectives. Proper adjectives. Proper adjectives and adjectives is a word or set of words that modifies in another word describe a noun or pronoun. Note that adjectives may come before or after the word they modify. As in the example over here, this is a cute cat. The adjectives cute modifies or describe the noun cat and it comes before the noun, and in this sentence, this is cat is cute. The adjectives cute describe the noun cat that it comes after the noun. Now, proper adjectives are formed from proper nouns and modified nouns and pronouns. Have a look at the example below. I love Italian culture. The word Italian culture is a proper adjective and is formed from the proper noun Italy. Remember that a proper noun is the specific name used for any person, place, or thing, as in Italy. The next material about collective adjectives. Collective adjectives are a subground of nominal adjectives or adjectives that as noun who share the same or similar characteristic. Collective adjectives must follow the definite article like the homeless, the innocent, the intelligent, since they are street. As plural, we have to use a plural for from them. You can see in the slide. So, for example, the injured were given immediate attention. Here, the injured is the collective adjectives, and it is followed by the definite article talk and signs. It represents a group of people where is used as the verb. Another example, can be the elderly need proper care. The elderly is the collective adjectives, and it is by followed by the definite article thought it is interesting too. Note that a large number of collective adjectives refer to the nationality of people like Irish, like English, the Japanese, and many more. You can see in the slide. It is important to note that when we use a collective adjective for any nationality is capitalized. Alright, my friend and my lecturer, that's all for me. The next material will be explained by the second presenter. Thank you.
Alright, my friends, thank you for the time has been given to me. My name is Vincesia Febrianti Moroao, and I am a second presenter from first group. So, today I want to explain about demonstrative adjective and interrogative adjective. So, first of all, I want to explain about demonstrative adjective. So, the meaning of a demonstrative adjective is a modified noun or pronoun, but use the word like this, that, this, and those. So I wanna explain one by one types from demonstrative adjective use this word. The first, this or that. This or that. So the use of the definite demonstrative adjective use the this or that. The function is to indicate a singular or plural noun, and this word is also called the definite article, atau kata-kata yang menggunakan this atau that juga disebut dengan definite article. So example like the house has a beautiful view. So the second is this. Use this to indicate a singular noun, and that is a clause and can be reshaped. Like this book has an interesting story. And the second is this. This function, this it is to indicate a plural noun, and that are clause and can be reshaped. Like these diamond rings are in her collection. The next is that. That function of that is used to indicate singular nouns and that are far away and cannot be reached by hand. For example, the man across the street is my uncle. So the next is those. The word used those to indicate plural nouns and that are far away and cannot be reached, like those boys playing soccer and the file or my schoolmates. And the next is such. The function to indicate a singular noun or plural noun, and that has been mentioned previously, or an object that has just been will be.
Alright everyone, I will continue to explain our material that's about nominal adjective and compound adjective. So the first is nominal adjectives. Nominal adjectives are a type of adjectives that are used to refer to a group or category as a whole. They not only provide description but also function as a noun in a sentence. The characteristics of nominal adjectives include their ability to replace nouns and behave like nouns. Alright, there are several types of nominal adjectives. The first is collective adjectives. That is referring to a group of people or things seen as a single entity. For example, the elderly or older people. The second example is the wealthy or rich people. The second type is color adjectives, referring to a group of colors. For example, the red, it means the color red. And the second example is the blue, it means the color blue. A third type is nationality adjectives, that is referring to a group of people from a particular country. For example, the French, it means French people. The second example is the Japanese, it means Japanese people. And the last types is material adjectives. This is referring to a group of materials or substances. For example, the wooden. And the second example is the metallic. Examples of nominal adjective used: the rich and the pure. The elderly are respected in our society. The French are known for their cuisine. In these examples, phrases like the rich, the elderly, the French function as nominal adjectives, replacing nouns and referring to specific groups. Alright, next to the compound adjectives. Compound adjectives are formed by combining two or more words to modify a noun. The characteristic of compound adjective is they can be hyphenated or written as a single word, and they precede the noun they modify. Next, they convey a specific quality or attribute of the noun. And the last is they are often used to provide more precise descriptions. Types of compound adjective. The first is hyphenate compound adjectives. Hyphenate compound adjectives are a combination of words that act as a single modifier before a noun. They are hyphenate to clarify their meaning and to ensure that readers understand them as a single concept. For example, well-known. The hyphenation helps avoid confusion and ambiguity in meaning. For example, include well-known, high quality, fast-paced. And the second type is open or spaced compound adjectives. Open or spaced compound adjectives are a combination of words that act as a single modifier before a noun, but they are not connected by hyphens. Instead, they are written as a separate word or with space between them. For example, full moon. Compound adjectives still serve to modify a noun, but they are not hyphenated. For examples include full moon, heavy rain, hard rock. And the last type is closed or solid compound adjectives. Closed and solid compound adjectives are a combination of words that are joined together without space or hyphens, forming a single word. For example, blackboard or firefly. These compound adjectives are treated as one unit and modify a noun collectively. Examples include blackboard, notebook, and blueberry.
Alright, my friends, now I'm going to continue our material that is about order of adjectives and degree of comparison. We will discuss it one by one. The first I want to explain is about order of adjectives. Adjectives are words that modify or describe a noun or pronoun. In other words, they describe a place, a person, or a thing in a sentence. Adjectives usually comes before the noun. For example, the small dog jumped over the white fence. In the sentence, there are two adjectives, namely small and white. Small is an adjective that describes the noun dog, and white is an adjective that describes a noun fence. Adjectives add to the richness of our descriptions about people and things. They allow the listener or the reader to paint a mental picture of the person or object that is being described to them. When we speak or write, we don't want to bore our listener or reader with a repetitive sentences. Imagine a description like this. He is a tall man. He is a healthy man. He is a young man. In these sentences, we will so bored to hear about it. But don't worry, luckily, we have another option. We can make such a description more concise by using all three adjectives in one sentence. So the previous sentences that I have read become he's a tall, healthy young man. Using one more than adjectives in a sentence can make our writing and speech richer and more concise. However, this is also we have to be careful because certain adjectives appear in a certain order. For example, in the description above, which would be more correct. Tall, healthy young man or young, healthy, tall man. But the answer is tall, healthy young man. But why? In English, the order of adjectives sometimes can be more flexible. But most of the time, we use a very specific order. If we don't, the sentence sounding unnatural, as in young healthy man. To avoid unnatural sounding sentences, we group adjectives by type. There are 10 orders in the adjectives, but we try to use them in this order. The first is opinion. The second is measurement. The third is shape. The fourth is condition. The fifth is age. The sixth is color. The seventh is pattern. The eighth is origin. The ninth is material. And the last is purpose or adjective of purpose. Obviously, we never have a sentence that uses 10 adjectives to describe one noun. That would be far too long of a sentence. In fact, it would even be rare to find a sentence that uses more than 3 adjectives to modify a noun. Therefore, let's look at each of the type of adjectives in detail. The first is adjectives of opinion. Adjectives of opinion always come first before an factual description of the noun. There are 2 types of adjectives of opinion, namely general opinion and specific opinion. The general opinion adjectives can be used of any kinds of noun, whether it is person, place, or a thing. Some of the most common general opinion adjectives are good, bad, lovely, strange, beautiful, nice, and so on. The second type is specific opinion adjectives. These are adjectives that can only be used with a particular types of nouns. For example, people and animal. We can use adjectives intelligent, friendly, unfriendly, hardworking. For buildings and furniture, we can use adjectives comfortable and uncomfortable, and so on. There are so many. And for the food, we can use flavorful, tasty, delicious, and so on. If we want to use the general opinion and specific opinion adjective in one sentence, the general opinion adjectives must become first. For example, isn't Maria a lovely, intelligent girl? In this sentence, there are 2 adjectives, namely lovely and intelligent. Lovely is the general opinion adjectives because it can be used of any noun. Therefore, it comes first. Intelligent is a second opinion adjectives because it can only be used for people and animal, so it comes second. Now let's turn to the second order or second types, that is adjectives of measurement. Adjective of measurement tell us about size, height, weight, length of a person or a thing. Some of the most common adjectives of measurement are big, small, tiny, huge, enormous, short, and so on. If we were to use more than one adjective of measurement in a sentence, we would normally use the adjectives that mention the general size first and the other measurement after. For example, he's a big, tall man. He's a big, tall man. It is correct sentence, but when we wanna say he's a tall, big man, is incorrect. Why? Because big is a general size first, so it must comes first, not second. The other example is I bought a huge, heavy table in the kitchen. It's the correct sentence, but when we wanna say I bought a heavy, huge table in the kitchen, it's really incorrect because huge is a general size first. So it must be comes first, not comes second. Now we continue to the third order. It is about adjective of shape. Adjectives of shape usually describe objects. The most common are round, square, rectangular, triangular, and oval. However, there are many words that describe the shape of objects that we see all around us, but that are used less frequently. For example, bend, concave, convex, flat, pointy, straight, and so on. The fourth order is adjectives of condition. Adjectives of condition tell us whether is it a good or bad state. These are generally adjectives that describe a temporary state of the person or thing in a sentence. Some common adjectives of physical condition are clean, dirty, wet, and dry. Emotions like happy, sad, angry, scared, and anxiety are also adjectives of condition. As a general state, such as rich, powerful, shy, or clever. We turn to the fifth order, that is about adjectives of age. Adjectives of age can describe how old person, place, or thing is. For example, to describe people, we can use adjectives young, youthful, elderly, and so on. To describe things, we can use adjectives new, antique, etc. And to describe both, we can use old, ancient, and so on. The sixth order is adjectives of color. Adjectives of colors include the name of particular colors themselves, such as yellow, blue, or red. But they also can be approximate colors like reddish or yellowish, or even properties of colors such as transparent, translucent, or opaque. If we use both of a color and a property of color in one sentence, the property should come first and the color after, immediately before the noun. For example, a translucent yellow cup. The second example is an opaque blue curtain. Now let's continue to the seventh order, namely adjectives of pattern. Adjectives of pattern can describe the pattern of material or even of animal. Some of the most pattern adjectives are check, polka dot, strip, peg, and flower. The eighth order is adjectives of origin. Adjectives of origin describe where something comes from. Usually, these are adjectives refer to a specific country or region. When we use country like American, British, Indian, or Korean, note that we capitalize the adjective. But when we use adjectives of origin that refer to a general region, such as southern or eastern, are not capitalized because that is not specific country but is a general region. Now let's continue to the other order, that is the ninth order, namely adjectives of material. Adjectives of material tell us what something is made for, or what are the material, or what is the material that is used. For example, a wooden table, a plastic chair, a steel railroad track. Wooden, plastic, and steel is examples of material or adjectives of material. Now let's turn to the last order, that is adjectives of purpose. Adjectives of purpose tell us what something is for. For example, a shopping cart, a sleeping bag. This is example show us what are the thing is what for, or what is the purpose of this thing. In the first example, we see a sleeping bag, so the bag is used for sleeping. And the other example is a shopping cart, so the cart is for shopping, the shopping cart. Now let's put all of the information about types of adjectives together and see some examples of how it works when we modify a noun with more than one adjective. The first example is, don't forget to bring your new striped jacket. In this sentence, there are two adjectives, namely new and striped. New is an adjective of age, and striped is an adjective of pattern. Let's continue to the other examples. Yesterday, my sister gave me a blue wool sweater. In this example, we see there are two adjectives, namely blue and wool. Blue is an adjective of color, while wool is an adjective of material. Let's turn to the third example. I bought an enormous rectangular Turkish rug on my vacation. Enormous is an adjective of measurement. Rectangular is an adjective of shape, while Turkish is an adjective of origin, especially in a specific country, so it must be capitalized. The child was playing with a blue and red plastic robot. Blue and red are adjectives of color joined by coordinating conjunction is and they are followed by adjective of material, that is plastic. Sometimes a series of adjectives follows a linking verb like to be. In this case, the adjectives will separated by comma, and the last adjective is connected to the previous word with and. For example, the house is big, white, and wooden. Big and white separated by comma, and the last adjective is connected by and. Now, we will continue our other material that is about degree of comparison. Adjectives describe of quality or characteristic of a noun or pronoun. The basic form of an adjective sometimes known as positive degree, but adjective can also be inflected or changed in form to compare the quality between two nouns, and this form is known as comparative degree. Similarly, we can inflect an adjective to identify a noun with the highest or lowest degree of attribute among a group. This is known as superlative degree. Now, we will discuss it one by one. The first is comparative adjectives. Comparative adjectives are adjectives that compare differences between the attribute of two nouns. These are oval measurements, such as height, weight, depth, distance, etc. But they don't have to be. And we can also use comparative adjectives to compare non-physical characteristics. Now let's take a look on the examples. The basic form or positive degree is tall, but when we see its comparative adjectives, it becomes taller. Tall become taller. Fast, fast become faster. Sweet become sweeter. Beautiful become more beautiful or less beautiful. Intelligent, intelligent become more intelligent or less intelligent. We generally form the comparative adjectives by adding the suffix er at the end of the adjectives, or by using words more or less before it. As with most grammatical rules in English, there are some exceptions to the pattern above. Adjectives that do not inflect to the normal pattern are known as irregular adjectives. For example, good is a positive degree, but when we form in the comparative degree, it becomes better. Bad become worse. Now let's continue to the other degrees of comparison, that is superlative adjectives. Superlative adjectives are adjectives that describe the attribute of person or thing that is the highest or lowest in degree compared to the members of nouns group. Superlative adjectives are similar to comparative adjectives, except they express the most extreme degree of comparison. Let's take a look of some of works of superlative adjectives. The first is big. It becomes biggest. Thin become thinnest. Sad become saddest. With one syllable adjectives, we adding the suffix est in the last of adjectives, or by adding the word most before it. With one syllable adjectives, we add the suffix est at the end of adjectives, and double final consonant if preceded by one vowel. For example, big become biggest. The final consonant is double because it's preceded by one vowel. The vowel is I. Thin become thinnest. Thinnest is added. We adding est at the end of adjectives, and we double of final consonant and because it's preceded by one vowel, and the other examples like that. But if the adjectives preceded by two vowels or another consonant, the final consonant of the adjective is not doubled. You can see in this example, weak. And when we form into superlative adjectives, it becomes weakest. Weakest. The other example is strong, become strongest. Large become largest. Small become smallest. If the adjectives has two syllables and ends in y, we replace y with I and add est. You can see on the examples. The first example is happy. It becomes happiest. The other example is chewy. Chewy becomes chewiest. Sticky become stickiest. Now let's see the examples of superlative adjectives if we want to make into a sentence. The first examples is John is the tallest student in his class. The tallest is the superlative adjective because the last adjectives adding by the suffix est. Another example is Daniel always buys the most advanced smartphones available. The superlative adjective is the most advanced. Mrs. Philip is the nicest teacher among the staff. It is the highest mountain in the world. There are many expensive brands of watches, but these are the most expensive kind. Alright, my friends, that's all our